What is up, Eastern Oregon? This is Dodzy, and this is your sports show for Tuesday, November 16th, 2021. This is all brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, right here on Elm, off Adams. You can't miss it. It's a big red rocking chair. Go in there and check out their showroom. They have all kinds of American-made furniture. You won't be disappointed. Northwest Furniture and Mattress, right here in Grande. Big day on Saturday for EOU football. Senior day. Man, come from behind victory. Quinn to Sage Wilkerson for the game winner. It was phenomenal. If you haven't seen them yet, I posted a whole ton of pictures of that game on our Facebook page right here, EOAlive TV, your connection to Eastern Oregon. There's not really much more to talk about. Grande lost on Friday to Estacada. They put up a valiant effort. I appreciate everybody's help with getting that stream out, man. That was a crazy fiasco, but we made it work. This weekend, Saturday, 4 p.m., Quinn, opening round of the national tournament for volleyball. Right here, our EOU women, 4 o'clock, Quinn, go support them. This team is fire. My guest, he's a community staple. He's a stand-up dude. I have nothing but respect for this man. He's always prompt. He's always there when I have a question. He's a great member of this community and somebody to look up to. It's EOU head football coach Tim Camp. Here it is. Coach Camp, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about Saturday. Before we dive into the season, let's talk about senior day. 19 seniors.
Yeah. That was could have written that up any better, just this, have those guys come out there. We did a mock walk on Friday, and it was pretty emotional. I like to try and get that whole day out just a little bit for them on Friday. So then on Saturday, there's a lot of emotions going in a lot of different ways. A lot of guys, walking across there who meant an awful lot to this football program, what they've done, not only from a football standpoint, but from a community standpoint, just being able to buy in and believe and coming back after the COVID year and, just hanging in there with Eastern Oregon University, trying to make a difference, So I was super proud of those guys. And then to send them out winners, that's all we talked about. And especially against Southern Oregon University, let's go.
Yeah, we don't have the same rivalry as we did back in the days against Southern, but it's still a rival. I mean,
well, I always tell people when you beat them, the rivalry should fire up, and it has actually been just the opposite. They've had success up here versus us since I've been here, and we hardly ever lose down there, So it's been it was pretty chippy out there on Saturday, though. That kind of reminded me a little bit about what I walked into when I first got here, and I think that the cultures of two Oregon schools not doing what they wanted to do this season kind of played a little bit of a part in that. And I always like good, clean football. I don't like my guys talking back and forth, but some of the things that I was hearing out there it was kind of shocking to me. So I had to address it with my team, and I also addressed it with the officials because we wanted to make sure that we kept it under control and just played clean football.
Yeah, so since they've moved the beer garden back behind the end zone again,
right,
you should hear what goes on down there.
I could just imagine some of the things that the kids come off telling me. I'm like, he said what? Yeah. So yeah, I was like, oh, that was clever of him, But at the same time, it's like crazy, But I never, as a player, I was always so exhausted. I didn't have time to talk crap to anybody, It was kind of like, I just want to get back to the huddle and get going again. You're 340 pounds. You just want to block and then go back to the huddle and then do it again,
Right, right.
But, it's definitely the game is changing, So we got to make sure that we have discipline and composure, being able to do the things that we want to do. Because like I tell our kids, that has nothing to do with the game. It has absolutely nothing to do with the game, and we're gonna do things, and we're gonna do it the right way, right?
Yeah.
So,
I was standing right there when you had the conversation with the young offensive lineman, and you were just like, "Hey, we don't do that."
Yeah, no, hey, it was such an interesting because I told the guys at halftime, I addressed the team at halftime, and I said, "Hey, we're gonna win this game, and it has a chance to get out of hand, right?"
Yeah.
not based on scores, not based on anything, but emotions, right? So we got to be able to control our emotions. And guess what? He makes a block and he goes out there and, hey, look at me. Yeah, you're done. All right.
Yeah.
Just come back over here. You can watch with me. It's going to be a lot better for you. Right.
Yeah, right. Well, hey,
then I walked by him when I just got done with the offense over there, and I walked by him and I looked at him and go, yeah, you're still done. Okay. So I got my point across, I think, and we're going to continue to do that. These young men need mentored. They need structure. They need discipline. And sometimes they got to be reminded on a daily basis on how one's supposed to act, and when you wear the Eastern Oregon University, you take pride in it and you never do anything to distract from the team. And when you do stuff like that, I think that's a big distraction, for the team. Now it's about you and it's not about Eastern Oregon University. So we as coaches have to do a great job of making sure that we're doing the same thing as well.
Yeah. Football is one of those sports where when you start becoming selfish, you become a virus, basically.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When you're a that's in anything, in a business, in a football program, anything that you're in, if you're not pulling for your team and you're trying to do things on your own, and you go rogue on us, then, hey, guess what? We don't need you at that point. That's you go do your deal. All right. I'll do mine.
Okay. So the defense holds.
Yeah.
47 seconds left, right? I think we're out of time.
I thought I messed that thing up because I was about ready to go for it on 4th and 5 from our 42. So I had a fake called, and then I was like, yeah, gosh, you know what? Our defense is playing well. Timeout. I'm going to give our defense a chance. We end up punting the ball down there, and their first play they get 9 yards, but I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't do it right. But then our defense held, which was awesome. We got the ball back with 1 minute exactly, no timeout.
Was it 1 minute?
1 minute exactly on the clock, no timeouts, and then Quinn went to work.
Oh man, it was that defense. They were one first down away from winning that game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, that was a big stop. And again, being able to stop them and force them to punt and us getting the ball back one more time was a huge deal for us.
It was so awesome. So let's walk through that real fast, that last minute. Like, what's going through your head?
Well, you know what? I know that in my opinion, I still think we have the best quarterback in the conference, and I know he's a winner. And he obviously didn't have the year that we all expected him to have, but it wasn't because he didn't try. I mean, that kid worked his tail off. And to go out as a winner as he did, and how he did it was the most important thing to me. But I knew that if we could move the ball vertically in the middle, and then they were backing off us on the side, I knew we could get the ball out. Now we just had to make plays, and then we throw a quick out to IT, and all of a sudden he flips it to Cade Reed, and Cade Reed goes up the sideline. If it was been a little bit cleaner flip, it might have went the whole way. Yeah, so we got that, and then the very, very last play. So we got a couple big plays right there, and they were just kind of backed off, letting us do what we're doing. Where every series before, the first and second down, they were bringing so much pressure, and they really didn't do that. So they were just in a prevent, and we were able to get in the right spots and get the ball placed. And then that last one trips into the boundary. The safety never come over on the top, and it was
one-on-one.
I don't know if you saw Kai moved Sage out just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's on the video too. It's on the video too.
And went glance, right? Well, their corner thought he was going fade, so he just kept dropping. We glanced it, and Kai put a great shot on. And Sage, I knew right when he moved him, I was like, he's going right there. But I knew he wasn't going to go fade with the corner sitting off leverage like that. So very good execution. And the thing about it is, like I talked to Kai after the game, and I just told him, hey, call the plays that you like, man. You call these. I trust what you're doing, So give him all the credit, because nobody he was doing it himself, And
I heard that.
Yep. I told him at the very end, I said, hey, you know what? We're going to win this game, and I want you to call what you're comfortable with. And obviously it was in the game plan. Everything that he ran was in the game plan, So we knew the things that it's not hard to call split pearl scud. I mean, it's not hard to get the stuff, but to be able to do it and show how comfortable he is doing those things, it means he's learned our system and he knows and understands. So from a coaching standpoint, it's like one of those things that you sit back and you're like, you know what? He does understand. He does know. He can run this system, So
it's that proud dad moment almost.
Hey, I'm telling you, I had goosebumps on my arms just watching him. I'm like, that dog, man, he's doing it, But then I knew what he was doing, like right at the end. I was like, he's going glance right here. I know it. And then right when that corner bailed just a little bit more, I was like, that's big time right there. And then not only that, but so there's 3 seconds left. We score. So we go to kick the extra point. We do. And then when everybody stormed the field, we get a 15-yard penalty, which I didn't realize until I lined up to kick, right? And so we went 51 squib, and just keep it on the ground, let it roll, kill the clock out. Well, they get the ball with 1 second. And then one of our seniors drives a guy over the pile, right, who was getting held, but he drove. So that's a 15-yard penalty. So now it gives them a shot to throw it in the end zone. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? This is going to go down to like right to the very, 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 very end. And then we picked it off in the end zone. And then everybody, it was a crazy game. One that I'll remember forever. I know that.
So that the touchdown pass to Sage, that was pretty special, like storybook. I mean, both 6-year guys, right? Yeah,
those two have been buddies they're hunting buddies, they're golfing buddies, they're casino buddies. They do everything together, right?
It's crazy.
So that's exactly when that formation was out there, I knew right where the ball was going. I mean, he was going to give him a chance, and that was his best chance to get the ball in to score a touchdown for the Mounties. I knew it.
All right, so I took a picture on Saturday, and I'm going to put it up on the screen, and I want you to tell me what was going through your head at this time right here.
Holy moly. I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised. I was trying to figure out right there, hey, so we're going to kick the extra point, and we need to line up, and we need to get our Ranger team on there and make sure that our kicker's ready to place the ball where I tell him. And he didn't place the ball where I told him. So then the other thing, I will be honest with you, we had one tipped earlier in the game, and I was like, you know what? Now I just don't want this thing blocked, right? And returned, So there's a lot of things going in through my head right there. So, but I was excited for the kids, and I just thought that all the hard work that these seniors had put through, and continued to believe, the highs of winning it on senior day, and then the tough losses, the disappointments, everything that kind of ended up coming into this game. These kids could have sacked their bats a long time ago, but there wasn't one game that we weren't in or we didn't compete in. And that's the one thing that as a coach, I've been on teams before where all of a sudden you're picked to win a lot, right? And then that doesn't happen. And then all of a sudden you start getting boat raced, and then it's not even fun to be out there. And I got to credit these seniors. That wasn't the case. I enjoyed going to practice every day. I enjoyed going to meetings every day. They wanted to learn. They wanted to represent Eastern Oregon. And I think that's probably the thing that I'm the proudest of.
Nice. Let's talk real quick.
Yeah.
About MSU Northern. Like, okay, so that game, 5 overtimes. I'd never seen a 5 overtime game in NAIA before, but I mean, that was like one of those points where they left everything on the field to try to. I mean, obviously we didn't get the what we wanted out of that game, right. But at the same time, that showed so much just raw drive by these guys.
Well, when you line up and do stuff like this, and we work our game winners every single time, every single week we work game winners, right, for these situations. Now, yes, we only have 3 game winners, and we had to use 5 times, I would have called something just a little bit differently, I think, in a couple of those situations. But at the same time, to watch the heartbreak, and that's what college football is about. That's what being a man's about. That's what doing the stuff that's hard that nobody else will do. It's tough. It's tough to go lose to Northern. Absolutely. But hey, credit them. They beat us that day, right? Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to complain about it, or are you going to go back to work? And that's where I really felt that we had a team that was able to beat anybody that we played on our schedule, no matter what just happened. right? It's college football. Things happen. Now, how are you going to prepare? What are you going to do now? And what is your response to this? Don't react. Let's respond to it. And if you respond the correct way, great things can happen. And obviously on Saturday, you saw some good things. I don't necessarily know they're great things. You saw some really good things, but I saw a bunch of seniors with happy faces that turned to tears in the locker room, realizing that was their last opportunity.
Yeah, and it was I mean, that whole place was electric. It was. I love that feeling, man. Even just being in there as a fan.
Yeah, the best feeling ever is watching those kids go out and do something. We've done it multiple times out there. And senior day and the day before, the Friday and then the Saturday of senior day is the kind of, I've really realized it's the toughest thing for me because I get attached to these kids. And these kids happen to be here for 6 years, a lot of them. And I coach every single one of them. And it was tough on Friday and then kind of got it out. And once you start playing, you're fine. But just realizing after, you got to go talk to those kids again. You don't got to. You get to go talk to them again and just watch the emotions of like a Christian Reyes, watching RJ, watching, these guys just lose it. Because of how much they do care. And that's pretty awesome, but it is also horrible at the same time, So these guys wouldn't get out of their jerseys after the game.
They just wanted to keep them.
I had 2 conference calls right after the game, and usually by 6 o'clock the guys are out. I can kind of sit in here and I can start watching the film, and it was still loud out in the locker room. There's still guys sitting in their lockers with their uniforms on.
Wow.
So when that stuff happens, the season may not have went our way, right? But that also means that they have bought in. That means that they care and that they were committed to seeing this through the right way.
Yeah, this senior class that's leaving is like it's pretty emotional for me too. I've spent some time with some of these guys, and not to mention, like you talk about Christian. Christian's my neighbor, man. We have conversations on the regular.
I love that kid, man.
So do I.
Watch these guys lead us in the fight song in our locker room right at the end. There wasn't a dry eye in the place. It was awesome.
I saw the video.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. So let's move into next year. Obviously with COVID and everything, we've had recruiting's been weird because you've had guys that are getting another year, and so it's made like the whole transition and getting guys out. Has that been hard?
Well, we're sitting at a little over 90 on the roster right now, right? And that will thin out a little bit based on the fact of just evaluations. We need it, right? I like carrying a high roster because I like to practice a certain way, but at the same time, I'm going to hold these kids accountable to making sure that they earn their roster spot and they keep their roster spot. Yeah, COVID has been a little bit tricky in recruiting. We've actually started bringing kids back to campus on game day. We're trying to find out how is the best way to bring people from out of state and from in the state of Oregon, Washington, Nevada, to campus and keep our community safe too. We don't want to be those people, but at the same time, I know it can be done, and we're in conversations with some really, really good players, and we're setting dates right now. The cool thing is we got a lot of our roster coming back with some guys that played a lot of football. Even though we had a lot of seniors graduate, we had a lot of underclassmen play for us over the course of this year and also in the COVID year in the spring. So I feel really good about where we're at. Now, obviously, everybody's going to say, what are you going to do at quarterback? I get that. And I've got a plan. We got a plan in place. And I feel that we have 6 quarterbacks on our campus right now. Are all of them quarterbacks? No. But at the same time, I feel that we got some guys that will compete for the job. That's why this winter is going to be super important for us to go out and learn how to compete and continue to show grit and pride and really to be able to see things through, because some of the leaders are leaving. Now who's going to step up? And that's going to be important to us as a program, because I always tell these guys, I'm good enough to get you 4 wins. I'm okay. To be good, to be a little bit better than that, we need some leadership. That'll get you 6. But when you start getting superior leadership, guys who are more about we than me, then all of a sudden you start getting in that 8, 9, and 10. and then all of a sudden you're looking good as far as an overall picture of where your program's at. So I think that we will have an opportunity to do some things differently. I've been working for really the last 2 years, right? I see things out there as everybody's doing the same thing. Every team that we play runs the same offense, and I will go to my grave. I brought this shotgun offense to the Frontier Conference. We were the very first shotgun team in the conference, and now everybody's doing it. Right? I want to be different. I don't want to. I want to be uncommon. I don't want to line up and just say, "Hey, here's a basketball. Let's go play." I like the scheme and things. I like to be able to do what I want to do. I am an inside zone. I'm a stretch. I'm a play action pass. I'm a vertical passing game. Right? That's what I like. But you're going to see a different wrinkle to Eastern Oregon coming up here, and it's going to be implemented this winter, and it's going to be through Football 101. It's a class that we're going to teach our kids, and it's going to be awesome because by the time that we go out there for spring football, our kids will know what we're trying to do, and then we can accomplish, then we can coach them. So I think it's going to be pretty awesome. It's something that I've wanted to do for the last really 4 years, but this year here kind of showed me that we need to be a little bit different, right? Because again, as a defense, you don't have to really prepare for anything. I mean, our defense played well for the majority of the year, had some things that we got to get corrected, but that's natural, right? But when you go from playing Eastern Oregon to Rocky to even Carroll now to Southern Oregon, you're seeing the same vertical pass game, you're seeing the same inside zone, you're seeing the same stretch. Let's be different. Let's change things up a little bit and give somebody something else to look at, so that we can get to doing what we want to do.
Absolutely. I heard a little birdie told me that we're going to give Parker Robinson a look at quarterback. Is that true?
If Parker Robinson holds my I have a deal with Parker Robinson.
He's got to keep his grades straight, probably.
If he keeps his grades straight and on the straight and narrow, I wouldn't mind seeing Parker play some quarterback here. But he can also
sling it.
He can also be a really good defensive back too for us. Yeah, he's a really good athlete. But I've really come to I've always loved that kid, and I'm hard on him. And sometimes
you should be.
Sometimes he don't understand all the time, but I think he's finally starting to understand. And I got to say it, I'm pretty proud of him right now. All right, awesome. So he's coming around, right? Yeah. We just got to keep our thumb on him. We've got to keep working him.
Yep. And we got to get. So we have a lot of the underclassmen that are having surgery and that got injured. I mean, you talk about like Quincy and Vic and Shaw.
Yeah, I can't talk specifically about their injuries, but yeah, I mean,
right.
That back end, it took a beating, I mean, and it was like one right after the other. And then all of a sudden, that's why I say we got some guys back there that have played some ball that nobody even knows about yet, but did a really good job. And it's only going to make us better. We had some guys out in the middle of the season on our interior D line that made some other guys have to step up. So it's then once the other guys got back, well, shoot, now you had a good rotation because those other kids played a lot. Where we got to be more impactful, in my opinion. I think the defense they'll continue to get better, without a doubt. Where we got to be better is we got to be better in the offensive line. I think that was.
I agree.
Glaring at times, with some guys that I really love, but at the same time, I coach them, right? Schematically, we're fine, but at the same time, we need to be have a little bit more grit about us up there. We need to be able to say, hey, it's 3rd and 1, we're running the ball. So we're working on it. I'm proud of what the offensive line did, but I know that we underachieved there big time.
Shuckle had a monster year.
No, my man Shucks, the man. I love that kid. I was hoping nobody would find out about him. All like him, Blaine. I mean, we got some guys in that I think are just going to be absolute monsters that are from this area. That
all Americans. I mean, I think Blaine and Shuckle can both be all Americans. No problem.
I think you take Shuck, you take Blaine, you take Parker, you take Walker, you take Willie, I mean, we got a bunch of kids here.
Nathan Reed.
Yeah, Kate, you take those kids, and we're going to win football games with them because you want to know why? They're good kids, and they care, and they love Eastern Oregon, right?
They do.
I love it.
So when I brought my son here to just, he's a sophomore. He's interested in football.
Yeah.
So I brought him in. They were in the gym.
Yeah.
Your boys
yep.
and the Reed boys. And they just took my son under their wing. They were lifting, and he's like completely engaged and just loving it, dude.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
It happens. And sometimes it's good for guys that grow up here to go away to realize that this place is pretty awesome. Cade Reed's one of them, right?
I had to do it.
Had to come back, But at the same time, athletically, I think we're going to be just fine. We got to do a better job as coaches to get them in the right positions, and I take that very, very. I'm responsible for all of it. All right, so you'll see a much improved offensive football team. You can't go from being the number one offense in the spring to being where we are right now. Okay, absolutely. So consider that handled, and work is being put in, and it's already been put in starting, like I said, a long time ago. So
all right,
we're going to get this thing cranked up. We're going to be back in the top 25, be back into the playoff contention, and that's the goal. Our goal here is to win football games and graduate players in reverse order. Graduate our players and win football games. That's and we got so much freaking support around here, man. Let's go. People love football in this town, and from our administration to, my boss. I mean, they absolutely love what we do. We just got to be better. And I understand that. Nobody's told me that more than myself. So we're going to get it cranked up.
All right. Last thing, and then I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to show you one more picture. So just respond to it.
Hey, that's a big day. Mount up, fight song. Let's go. Hey, we practiced that all week just to sing, hey, one play for the fight song. Just play one play for the fight song. And guess what? It come down to one play for the fight song. And then to be able to sing that to the crowd, that was a great day.
Awesome. Eastern Oregon. He's EOU football head coach Tim Camp. I'm Dodsey. Coach Camp, I appreciate you.
Hey, mount up. Let's go. Good job.
Thanks, Coach Camp. I appreciate you, man. Let's go. Mount up. Wrestling's started up at EOU, women's wrestling, men's wrestling. I'm going to have some wrestlers on. I'm going to have a couple basketball players on. I mean, I'm still going to be busy, even though football and volleyball are coming to a close. Short show today because the camp interview was kind of long, and I just let him speak his mind, and we have a real good rapport, and I appreciate the conversations with him. None of this is possible, though, without Northwest Furniture and Mattress. I mean, go check out their website. Go check out their showroom. The Daggett family, they're constants in this community. And in a small town like this, we have to support local. So go support the businesses that give me the opportunity to bring this content to you guys. Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Big Red Rocking Chair, on Elm, off Adams, in La Grande. Eastern Oregon, I appreciate you. That's all I got for you on a Tuesday. I'm Dodsey, and I'm out.